I'm going to say this today, and many may not like it, but sometimes some of us could be so heavily minded until we just know earthly good. It's all right to love your husband, it's all right to love your wife, but when you get into a situation that is affecting your children mentally, physically, and emotionally, and the enemy's at large, and you sit by and you just idly don't do anything about it because you believe in that person to get saved or set free and delivered, that's fine. I believe in the power of prayer. But anything that's affecting your children, mental status, mostly physical status, then you should get up and move and get out of the situation. I am tired of people thinking that, okay, it's going to get better, and you don't do anything about it, because it does affect our children. It does affect them mentally. It does bother them emotionally. Grown men and grown women fighting and carrying on and being abusive in front of your children. It has a pull on them, and the children are blaming themselves. You may think they don't hear you and mommy arguing. You may think they don't hear you cursing at mommy or hitting on their mother, but it affects them. And we need to talk about it, even in the house of God. Charity begins at home, and then it spreads abroad. And there's not enough to talk about it. They need to talk about it. I am so pleading with you all and begging with you to make a difference in your homes and your communities, your way of living, the way you treat the woman in front of your children, the way you talk to the men. Some of y'all is cursing and carrying on and performing. How could you call somebody the B word or the other B word? You calling him a B word, he's calling you a B word. You're being abusive, you're cursing her out, you're slapping her around in front of your sons. This is learned behavior. And we have so many dysfunctional children now. The prison is full of young people that came from, some of them, out of dysfunctional homes, and it needs to stop. We can pray about it, but if you need help, go seek help. You're not her father to be slapping her around. Even parents don't slap their daughters and sons around, and it needs to stop. Mental abuse is just as worse as physical or verbal abuse. So you need to get some help, because right now, the news that I even heard, because of a domestic situation has been going on for years, that child is missing or goes missing, and the child is 14 years old. And this needs to stop. If he or she cannot get help at home, this child is going out in the street, and now we have sex trafficking people that will scoop up your children and scoop up your daughter because you don't have enough common sense to see that it's hurting your children. We have thousands of children out here in these streets because you are irresponsible to get your act together at home. And God will hold you responsible, whether you save or unsaved. I don't care if you don't like it. It's time to stop the madness. You talk about slavery and this and that and the other. Well, what are you doing in front of your children? You're trying to beat somebody into submission. It's not for you to do that. And there's a lot of people say, well, I this and I that. You don't know what you other people are encountering or what they have gone through. And I'm just telling you, get some help. Women, get away from it. It's not worth you losing your children to the street because you're trying to save a relationship, or you let somebody beat and abuse your children. It's time to stop. You don't deserve to be treated like that. Your children don't deserve to be treated like that. So please get the help that you need. Let's help save our children.